Now, you can make madeleines in a freestanding mixer. Because it's quite a low quantity of ingredients, this mixture, your mixer needs to be quite a good mixer to scoop it all up. So I'm going to show you how to do it. If you've not got a mixer, you've got one of these bad boys, the best thing to do is do it over a pan of simmering water. So I'm going to get that simmering, put my butter there. So, hob on. It's all very modern, isn't it? Modern induction hob. You can boil water so quickly, so quickly. You can boil a pan of water in a matter of seconds. So it's 100 grams of sugar, 2 eggs, and you can use large eggs, you can use medium. There's only a few grams in it these days. If you're doing a big quantity of stuff, then you need to be a bit more exact. But you can make a bit more room for inaccuracies in smaller quantities. So 2 eggs, 100 grams of sugar, and as soon as eggs and sugar come in contact, you've got to whip them, because what sugar does is it's hydroabsorbent, so it sucks moisture. And if you were to get a sugar cube and pop it into a cup of tea, but just the corner, the sugar cube would suck it up and then crumble away because it's hydroabsorbent. So what that means is when you put it onto a product like eggs, which a majority of an egg is water, it sucks the water out and leaves a dark little yellow fleck. So if you ever make a custard and you've got these flecks in it and you think I've got loads of corn flour or something, it's actually your sugar has burnt your egg. It's called sugar burn. So get this over a pan. Now the reason I'm doing it over a simmering pan is the heat of the water will help to break down the albumin in the egg whites. It'll help to break those proteins down, which means you can get air into it a lot quicker. So whipping this now on quite a high speed, and you need to whip this to the ribbing stage. There we go. This is the best part of these things. I know you can put it in your handbag. So you know, back to the madeleines. So I'm whisking it over the water. Just try and break down the protein in the eggs. And when I took that pan off then, it goes off. The reason we get the air into it to this stage is aeration. So let's have a look at that. I've got my mixture, my ribbon stage eggs and sugar. We've avoided the sugar burn because we whipped it straight away. Heated it over a bit of water, whipped it, nice ribbon stage. So sift over chocolate powder, cocoa powder and plain flour. Sieve that on. And it's important just to sieve it all over the surface. Don't sieve it in just one place because it'll plonk down and expel the air from that area. So sieve it gently over the entire surface of the mixture. If you're doing this professionally, you'd first sieve it onto a bit of baking paper, then sieve it again, then again, keep sieving it. When I'm making a cake, I never sieve flour, never sieve any flour whatsoever. You sieve it to blend. You often see chefs sort of folding like this. They look at it with great trepidation and fear on the face and tears in their eyes, and they're doing this and shaking while they do it. Well, you can fold like this. It's about the motion. The speed can be, it could be speed of light, and you can still fold and be gentle with it. It's about using the blade. Don't sort of, if you drag it through like that with the flat of the implement, it'll expel the air. But if you quickly use the blade, cut through, get the base, get the sides, get everything into it, you can be as quick as you can. And then when you've semi-folded it in, so you've got a few clumps of flour and cocoa powder there, you put your butter in. You melted but cooled butter. So down the side of your bowl into the mix. So folding the butter in, just as swiftly as I can, not worrying too much about expelling anything because I've got the right motion. Nice and mixed, and as smooth as you can. I'm not going to bother about a few lumps today because we've got some already made, but you'll get the picture. So once it's a nice even mix, everything is in. And if you've got a few bits like I have on the side, at this stage, don't try to incorporate them. They're gone. Forget about them, you know, because you will not be able to get them in well enough before you've deflated the mixture. So once you've got a few lumps of flour here and there, just leave them. So the best way of filling a madeleine tin is, if you've not got piping bags, just use a teaspoon. About 2.5 teaspoons will fill these perfectly. But the quickest way is to use a piping bag. Now, traditionally, you want a nipple on your madeleine. Nipples are good in France, apparently. But what you don't want for this one is nipples, because this is for dipping. These are quick fire, grab them. So I'm going to pour this into a piping bag. If you've not got a Karen, like me, then just put your piping bag into a jug or something like that.
Jam jar.
Or a jam jar will be good.
Or a jug, yes.
Or a jug, whatever you've got. Got little ones, get them to try. So it's in your piping bag, thank you, my darling. You can put a nozzle in. You've got to put a nozzle in if you want to, but it's not necessary. Just trim the end off. So if you trim the end off for me. Just a small amount, just straight as you can. There you go, that's not too bad, is it?
Bigger?
Bit bigger. Just a bit bigger, yeah. If you're using a nozzle, I'd say about a 10 mil, 1 centimetre plain nozzle. And then you just literally pipe them about 2/3 full. So a big sausage in the middle. Don't fill them, because they will spread. And if you fill them full, then they'll all splurge together in the oven. You'll get one giant madeleine, which isn't a bad thing. When you're meant to be sharing or you're on a diet, it's not so good then, is it? So keep piping them. And keep making sure you move your hand down the piping bag. Get a really even pressure on this. If you're left-handed, you do it the other way. I'm right-handed, so I hold the twist in my L-shaped fingers. Even pressure here, and this hand is just for guiding. Don't squeeze with this hand because it'll uneven the piping bag. So just squeeze with that hand, all right? It's very difficult to expel any air at this stage. And of course, there's only one way for the air to go, and that's down with the batter into the madeleine pan. Right, so what I'm going to do is pop those in the oven. You stay there, you. Right, 190, circotherm. Look at this. Look at this oven. Slides down and in. And also, actually, what I'll show you is, past us that thing there, is this tray, this telescopic tray, comes out, and you can put that on. So if you're doing a turkey at Christmas, and you basted it, keep it on there, drive it out, and back in the oven. And the motion is circotherm, which means the fan is pushed out under the tray, under each level. You've got 4 levels, well 3.5, but about 4 levels. The air is pushed out under and then sucked back over the food. So it's not a direct blow of heat, it's a gentle massage of heat over the food, and it cooks it so evenly. It really, really does. We use these on the show, and it just cooked it perfectly.
Does that mean you don't lose as much heat with the door open?
Precisely that, because you're not opening the door like that and sucking all the air out, it just gently folds. As soon as you start opening it, it folds down, so there isn't as much suction, but also because of the mechanism, because the circotherm sucks the air back in over the food anyway, it's being sucked back in anyway, so you don't lose any heat, which is more economical. And also you can bake in these ovens about 10 to 20 degrees lower than a conventional oven, which means that you're not using as much energy as well. 8 minutes. These are springy to the touch, which means they're ready to come out. When they spring back when you gently prod them, they are ready. Look at that perfect timing. Now, the way to get them out of the tin, do a sharp tap. And out they pop. None of this scraping around with an old palette knife. Just bang it on the tin and get them out. The best way to do these is to grease them really well, butter them. This is non-stick, but still, don't trust non-stick. And you can see that door was open for what, a minute? It's still 190 degrees. It didn't lose any heat then. You're all seething with jealousy, aren't you? I want that on. So, don't ever trust non-stick. You can get some really good non-stick, but when it comes to small cakes like this, you don't want to damage the shape. Grease it with butter into the freezer. Grease it with butter again into the freezer. Then dust it with plenty of flour, and that is a no-fail recipe for making sure that your tin is non-stick.